Hansel and Gretel. Read by Beverly Chen. Welcome to Thimbleberry Stories, where warm and cozy tales await you. If you love gentle bedtime stories that make you feel as sweet and warm as fresh gingerbread out of the oven, be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a new adventure. Now, get comfy, pull up your favorite blanket, and let's begin tonight's story. Once upon a time, at the edge of a great dark forest, there lived a kind woodcutter and his two children, Hansel and Gretel. Their mother had once filled their home with warmth and laughter, but when she passed away, sorrow settled over their small cottage. After some time, their father remarried, hoping to bring joy back into their home. The woman he chose was cold-hearted and unkind. She did not love the children as their mother had, and she often whispered to their father about how little food they had left. One evening, Hansel and Gretel lay in bed, listening as their stepmother urged their father to take them deep into the forest and leave them there. "There's not enough food for all of us," she said. "If we send them away, we might survive." Their father protested, but his heart was weak with worry. Hansel, however, had heard everything and whispered to Gretel, "Don't worry, I have a plan." That night, when the moon was bright, Hansel crept outside and filled his pockets with smooth white pebbles from the garden path. The next morning, their stepmother woke them early. "Come, children," she said with a tight smile. "We're going to gather wood." She gave them each a crust of bread, and off they went into the forest. As they walked, Hansel let the pebbles fall one by one behind them, marking a secret trail. Deeper and deeper they went, until at last their stepmother said, "Sit here, children. Rest while I gather wood." But as the hours passed, the forest grew still, and their stepmother did not return. Night fell, and though Gretel was afraid, Hansel whispered, "Wait for the moonlight." When the moon rose high, it shone upon the white pebbles, which glowed like tiny stars upon the forest floor. Hand in hand, the children followed the path all the way home. Their father embraced them with great relief, but their stepmother was not pleased. A few nights later, she tried again. This time, Hansel was unable to collect pebbles, so instead, he crumbled his small piece of bread, leaving a trail of crumbs as they were led even deeper into the woods. But when night fell and the moon rose, the children could not find their way home. The birds of the forest had eaten every last crumb. They were truly lost. For days they wandered, growing tired and hungry, until at last they saw something wonderful through the trees. A little house made entirely of sweets. Its walls were built of gingerbread. Its roof was tiled with cookies, and its windows were spun from clear sugar. A warm, delicious smell drifted through the air. Hansel broke off a piece of roof, while Gretel nibbled on a sugar-paneled window. Suddenly, the door creaked open, and an old woman peered out. "My poor dears," she said sweetly, "you must be starving. Come in, come in. There is plenty to eat." The children stepped inside, and to their delight, the little house was even cozier within. A fire crackled in the hearth, and a table was set with the most wonderful feast. Warm porridge with honey, thick slices of fruit-filled bread, and steaming cups of spiced milk. Hansel and Gretel ate to their heart's content, feeling safe at last. But the old woman was not as kind as she seemed. She was a wicked witch, and she had lured them to her home with dark intentions. The next morning, as soon as Hansel and Gretel awoke, she grabbed Hansel by the arm and locked him in a cage. "You, my dear boy, will grow plump, and then, well, we shall see," she cackled. She turned to Gretel and handed her a broom. "As for you, girl, you will cook and clean for me." Days passed, and each morning the witch would check on Hansel, telling him to stick out his finger so she could feel if he was getting fat enough to eat. But clever Hansel held out a thin bone he found in the cage, tricking the witch's weak eyesight. One day, the impatient witch decided she could wait no longer. "Gretel," she screeched, "heat the oven. I shall eat your brother tonight." Gretel's heart pounded, but she had an idea. "I don't know how to check if it's hot enough," she said. "Can you show me?" The witch, grumbling, bent over to check the oven, just as Gretel gave her a great push. The wicked witch tumbled inside, and with a quick slam of the door, it was over. Gretel ran to Hansel and unlocked the cage. "We're free," she cried. Before they left, they discovered a great chest filled with glittering gold and jewels. They filled their pockets and hurried away, running through the woods toward home. As they made their way through the trees, they suddenly heard a voice calling their names. It was their father. He had sent their stepmother away when he could no longer bear her cruelty and had gone searching for them. When he saw them, his eyes filled with tears, and he ran to embrace them. "My dear children," he whispered, "I thought I had lost you forever." Hansel and Gretel told him everything, and together they returned home. With the treasure from the witch's house, they never went hungry again, and their little cottage was filled with warmth and laughter once more. And so Hansel and Gretel's adventure came to an end. The end. And now, dear listener, it's your turn to rest. Close your eyes, snuggle up, and let the stars twinkle just for you. Tomorrow will be a wonderful day, perhaps even an adventure of your own. Good night, little dreamer. Sleep well. If you enjoyed this fairy tale, please like and subscribe. It really helps our channel. Thank you.